Welcome, Mr. Travis 779, and now on a new channel, Bach 84. We're going to come out here and start this old Ford up and move it over. It's parked here because we had a yard sale last week and had to move vehicles. This is the old 86 Ford truck. Family's owned it since new. The only thing it's had done to it is it's had new head gaskets because of an exhaust manifold leak. Nothing really too typical Ford issue. But other than that, that's about it. Original mileage is 83,283 miles. Everything does function. The only thing that does not function at the moment is the air conditioner, but that's in the process of being fixed. I know what's wrong with it. The AC compressor is completely shot. But it actually does work, it just leaks. So, we'll go ahead and pump it a few times. This is a 460 Ford. So this is a 460 Ford. Pretty much about it. This is a 466 Ford. It was the biggest big block Ford had at the time, and back in '86 when this was made, this was top of the line. And of course, it doesn't have power windows or door locks, and to be honest, I don't know if that was an option. I think it was, but very few people actually had it. This is actually badged as an XLT Lariat. This was badged as it. It's got the nice carpeting, carpeted floors, the fake wood panels, ceiling's nice, intermediate windshield wipers, cruise control, and everything. Of course, this cassette stereo. And this is actually a nicer Ford cassette stereo. Like I said, it's parked this back here because it needs a. We had a yard sale, so we had to park them back here inside the bushes. It wasn't exactly what I had planned, but should be okay. We'll pull it out here. Let it warm up, because unfortunately these Fords are cold-blooded, and this actually does not have the stock Ford carb on it, which was just a Holly, but it was a motorcraft, but it actually was just a Holly. But we actually put an aftermarket. It's got an Edelbrock carb on it, which does work fine. I had a little bit of issues with the gasket. You got to make sure you use an aluminum spacer with the gasket material, because the rubberized spacers, because the EGR valve was right underneath, it gets too hot, it just melts it. That happened to us twice. I went ahead and upgraded to aluminum spacers, and that fixed the issue. Other than that, that's right about it. Truck's clean, very clean. Unfortunately, here in the Pacific Northwest, this is not a four-wheel drive truck, so it's not really worth very much up here, but it's more sentimental value. It's really impractical for driving every day, because a gas at, $3.80 a gallon up here in the States, staying to Washington, this gets 8 miles to the gallon of gas, so I mean, unless you're towing or hauling, it's really not that practical to drive it every day. But still a fun truck. Brings back the old memories of me and my family, my grandma and grandpa, and all of us going in this old truck to go camping back when I was 9, 10, and 12 years old. Brings back old memories. This was bought in '86, brand new, and it actually was bought by my grandpa. And I remember us going camping with our dog in the back. And actually, obviously this truck doesn't get used very much. It's still got the dog's hair in the back, but good old times. So we decided to go ahead and keep it, and of course, no reason not to. It's a good tower. It runs good. It's set up for towing a 28-foot size fifth wheel, and it's also got the boat rack that's set up to put the boat on top. So no reason not to. I mean, there's no reason not to. I mean, as far as where we go camping, it's, you know, it doesn't make much of a difference. Where we go camping, it does not make much of a difference. And to be honest, filling these 2 tanks still only cost about $100 because it's got 2 tanks, but the 2 tanks are not very big tanks. They're only like 12, 13 gallon tanks. So it actually cost about $100 to fill. So it's not horrible. You just gotta fill it a lot. You know, and back in the old days, you know, this was dual tanks. Nowadays they just do 1 full-size tank, but back in the old days it was dual tanks. So that's really about it. We just moved it up here. Truck runs good. I mean, it runs like it was back out of the factory. Let's see if this radio. Last time I checked, the radio still worked. Oh, the radio still works or not on this. Let's see our channel up here.
The weekend continues with a long set right around the corner.
Kind of works. Actually, doesn't sound that bad for a 30-year-old radio.
Oh my, that is
or a 28-year-old radio, I guess.
A new boat, a spaceship.
A little bit of static inside the volume, but actually, you could, with the way it's set up, you could actually put an insert and put a new stereo in it and change the speakers, and it would work fine. But and of course, it's got our old CB there, because when all of us family members would travel, we would talk back and forth CB radio, and because back in those days, you know, cell phones didn't really exist. I know we didn't have a cell phone until about 94, 93, and then, you know, you couldn't really use them. They were so expensive. Of course, my grandma and grandpa, they never did, and aunt and uncle didn't have one until recently. Now it's just more of a safety thing now, but I mean, it's, at least for them. But yeah, that's, you know, we used to talk back and forth the old CB, and that's basically about it. Comfortable sheepskins, you know, nice cover, and of course, you know, back in the old days they had the ashtrays, which this has never been used. Power supply, and then this, my grandpa built this for a cup holder. Of course, it's got storage in there. You know, we kept, when we went camping, we kept things like vacuum stuff, and this is a thermostat for something that we used. Various tools. This is an O-ring, in case the spacer or the oil filter is hooked up to an adapter that goes into the side of the block, and this was in case that broke. Of course, the tools. Here's the CB radio right there. The antenna is mounted on the top. You can see the metal things, and also what the boat rested on, and that's what the CB antenna was hooked up to. And of course, we made all that. I mean, all this was custom made. Back in those days, you know, we didn't have the budget to buy stuff, so we just made it. And that's really about it. Like I said, this towed a 28-foot fifth wheel, with a boat on the top, wood in the back, and of course we had our generator because we went up to the high Sierras in Northern California. That was really about it. That trailer there has never been taken, has never been pulled by this truck. We also had an orange truck, a true crew cab that my dad bought. We sold that. That wasn't really worth keeping. We had this one, which was in a lot better shape when my dad inherited it from my grandpa. So, I mean, this was in a ton of better shape than the other one we had. So, I mean, there was no reason not to. But that's really about it. And this is Mr. Travis 779, and now on Bach 84. Y'all have a good one.